So it's gonna be like that, huh? You just leave the party, leave me here with my 5-pip grid. I just built the most awesome Holy Grail system. These bright colored numbers are 5 pips apart, so I can grab these columns, and what I did here is I fixed the scale, and this way I can easily calibrate and see how much I'm risking. Now, this is 5 pips. This is a 4-digit fixed pip spread broker. So this to me is the only way to trade I can handle, right? I can continually see my risk levels. I'm buying the British pound on the apex here. They're trying to shake me out of this, but every time they come down another 5 pips, I've got a pending there. Now I'm long this euro, waiting for the news to come out of Europe. I got 1 hour and let's see. I got what is that? 1 hour and 7 minutes till the news comes out, and I think I set this to the atomic clock inside Windows. So this is a real algorithmically traded robot market, Forex. And here's a Swiss franc. Looking for the Swiss franc to pivot on this hammer-ish kind of thing here. And this plunges, euro goes up, spikes. I'm getting out halfway up this wick here. This grays are wicks. These are non-directional. If you're a stop entry trader, you would be stacking your stops up. For the guys that trade the stop entry technique, I would suggest you get in when the Bollinger Bands are tight. You want to get in this kind of style entry where you have a buy stop here, protection here if you're filled on this one. These are 5 pip handles, so you can do the math there. I think that's about what is it, about 20 pip range we're sitting in for the last 4 hours here. Now they hit some news earlier and broke out, pulled back to center. This is fair value. We're sitting right at fair value. I guess this is thank God it's a 4-digit broker, because my math's so bad that extra number just throws me off. Can't read it. This is $.64. $.6489. This is current price. So the 85 handle, the 40, 75. It's 5 pips apart all the way down to this big jumbo. I think this is a 20 pip grid. Yeah, these are 20 pips. The whites are 5 pips. And this way I can visually see how much money I'm going to lose. I would definitely buy in a retest of this top. This was the role reversal point we're experiencing right now. There's a triangle living inside this 4-hour chart, but there's a triangle in the 1 hour here. The apex of that meets this bottom. And I'm going to get out here conservatively, and then the big jumbo get outs here. And of course the infamous round banker's handle is the next target would be there for the final take profits up in there. But I'm hedging my position, so I go from currency to currency, look for the best setups. On the New Zealand, I got in earlier on the wick that came back into this top bottom, and I got long on the retest of the triangle, and this is a key support level. So I got it in the wick here. I want the best price. I think we're going to go up after this, march up here a little bit. News is coming out of Europe right now. Well, there's going to be kind of I'm playing the short squeeze into the news. And then it may rip back, so I will take all scalps off the table of 20 various profits for 10 pips, 20 pips, 30 pips. And I'm going to buy this this plunge back retest of the yen pairs over here. I run the yen pairs together. So my strategy here is that we're going to come back, retest these closes and these wicks. These orders here only last for about an hour. Some of them are 4 hours, the deep ones. I'm expecting the Dow Canadian to reverse at this pivot. Ideally, I would see it start to come down here as the euro goes up, and as the euro goes up, the Swiss franc curls into this. And that's, 5 pip handles to the 0.8780. And that was the top bottom entry on the so we have to wait for this to play out. Yeah, this is the big scalper window. This is just before the top of the hour. I expect a spike on some magnitude up or down. Looks like the dollar Swiss is rearing up for a spike, and this looks like it might engulf and be. This is always the moment of truth. Now we get 2 minutes before the top of the hour. I'm going to go to my 5-digit broker. I won't be able to call out the numbers for you because, like I say, when I see numbers like that, I just am so confused. So I did the same thing here. I put 5 pip handles in. I'm looking for this to. I think this. Luckily, this is the same time frame. So these 4-hour charts all. I'm using all 4-hour charts for my scalping and my swing trading and my. I don't have to know what's going on to the left of here because I know that this is the 39's resistance and 37 support. So I can look at the overall. I'm looking at this range here is 500 pips, but the indicator paints over the last. The indicator's only paying attention to the 5 pips around current price because if you're scalping, you don't care about this down here. So I told the indicator to just do 2 above, 2 below, but I know the whites are 5, so I'm going to scalp, or I'm going to see what they just did. A 15 pip washout here on the top became a bottom, and New Zealand has been caught in a trap for quite some time here. But this is in an uptrend, so I'm playing. You could either play the breakout here for confirmation, or I'm getting in at the market, or I'm getting in on a pullback, stop up. That's why I think the dollar Canadian is probably doomed because this usually runs inverted to dollar Canadian. So when this Aussie and the Kiwi start to really rally, and this takes this out, then I'm thinking, big master blast and fill that hole, and then of course not that it can't pull back and not that the bears can't jump on the spike and ride it down, but it depends what your mindset is, I suppose, going into that, right? Okay, now we're getting the British pound. Here's a tick chart in the British pound. We come at the top of the hour. You got about 45 seconds here, so here comes the robots. They're going to drive you up, and I'll get some relief from getting it, but I'm buying I already got in the apex of this triangle. If I can get the euro to start clipping out these take profits too, so you have 20 seconds here, and here's where you can see some real craziness because I think either Europe or London's opening, I don't know, but the top of the hour is a big deal. Some robots I'm sure are going to, or just you have the session rollover. You squeeze. Nobody wants to be on the wrong side of this. This news that's coming out in 1 hour from, okay, right, there you go. So that's top of the hour. And if you get some follow through, now the 5-minute traders come in 5 minutes after the top of the hour. And so if you trade into the top of the hour, and you know that the 5-minute traders are going to be playing their wave breakouts for the next 5 minutes, so you got 5 minutes after the hour. So I'm just gonna pause this and come back and. Come back in 5 minutes here. I gotta go make some more Nescafe. That's our sponsor for the show. Don't forget to click on the button on the screen. Okay, let me just find the applications on the other screen. Fine, be that way. Okay, we'll get that. This is the what a tick chart looks like on a clunky 4-digit broker. Looks like. Please hold. Got about 1 minute and 20 seconds. Before the 5-minute trader is kicking their, they can push this thing up. 5-minute traders take control here, and this 5 minutes before and 5 minutes after the top of the bottom of the hour. I don't have to go to the 5-minute chart here because I could see in my mind's eye that there's we're basically staring down a breakout here. Okay, now the pound's ready to you've got about 40 seconds here, and then it actually may right at the you might want to take some of your profits in the next 30 seconds if you're really heavily into this pound right now, because it just has that look that they're just going to keep playing with people. Not playing with people, but it feels like that. It feels like they're after you, but it's really just the consolidation or the accumulation phase is kind of an up and down game. but not to make, you're actually range trading this. Buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. You know, the final resolution of a triangle may take 40 hours. But I'm broke, so I have to trade the triangle and be that guy that's just, you know, working the triangle before the breakout. Now look at New Zealand here is ready to crush through this this zone it's been trapped in for, that's the high of Friday. I can see this perfect top bottom in here. Okay, so we went through the top of the hour. I'm looking for this. Here we go. So now we just, here's the crush. 5-minute traders are going to take control. And here we go. So I'll be able to scalp out of this. And hopefully this guy is going to crush through these treetops. You know, right there, we're after that, right there. That's our target to, I'm not a breakout trader, but the breakout traders have got their stops in there. We'll see how they fare when that gets filled. If we get a bum rush to the 86 handle, even on New Zealand. New Zealand can really move. I mean, it's been, and you know, nobody makes New Zealand sit in the corner. You know, look at this thing. So here we go. We're after this. That's our, and I can see the pound in the rearview mirror here. Now here's the moment of truth. We pull back, make a top bottom of that tick chart. This is the borderline. You got 55 minutes before the news. This comes a short cover here. So this, not too greedy on this trade. I'm just going to make it 20 pips. I just want to get out. You know, there's going to be more antics when the news comes out. Now here's the Swiss starting to curl down, and these the dollar Canadian is about to join it to the downside here. If we can get the perfect storm going here. Here comes the euro stampeding down on the 50 handle, and you know, just get out. Hopefully, I'm almost tempted to get out here. I've seen this actually come right up to resistance here. New Zealand's right at the borderline, and the whole thing can turn. Market's pretty brutal, but if we do some follow through, if any one of these guys takes out the top, I'm figuring there's going to be a like a what they call a wealth effect. In other words, there's sympathy moves from the other currencies. The first guy to break out, if it's the New Zealand, then the other guy's going to join in, and dollar CAD's going to come down. This is already starting to leave the station on the south side. But now I have to think about where I want to get on the bottom, so I'm going to start throwing orders in deep here. These are 4-hour orders. Play a bounce off the round handle at 87 on Swiss. I'll even raise you one more and fill the whole pot. Fill the whole poker pot. Just push all the chips into the middle of the table, down on deep handles here. I'm looking for a major spike down, getting the apex of the triangle here on dollar Swiss 4-hour chart going way back. January, beginning of the year there, right? So this is a classic formation, the stop hunt washout. But I'll trade the bounce off of that, and then we just have to have the patience to hang through this. My take profits here, hopefully I'll just hit these guys. You know, these are 5-pip handles on the white, the 50 and the 100s are in blue. Well, the dotted 50s are the blue handles, the solid 50s are the big rounds. You know, the bankers are after this price here. Here's their, they love this number because they're just, you know, they're just bankers. They're like me, they can't do math. So if you notice the 50 handle and the see this tag at the 50, they love this entry. There's a top bottom right there on the 4-hour. You can trust the 4-hour chart. You can't really trust a 1-hour chart for structure unless you're trading on a 6-second chart for your other entries, I suppose. I don't know. Anyways, I'm just gonna go back to my 4-digit clunky broker. See how the patterns are setting up here. It looks like we're at the borderline here. Here we go. This guy, if this guy can come up, this guy will fall through. These guys are competing with each other. I don't trade the Aussie New Zealand because the spread will just you get your head handed to you when you pull the trigger. You're already down big. It's not worth it to me. I'd rather play the backbeat on this dollar yen plunge, so I put some 4 hours in here really deep, because I've seen that, especially with the euro to the yen, I've seen this thing plunge like just mind-blowing spikes. So see, my order bank's going to come in here, and it's going to cover this from a 139 to the 140. if I have to fall asleep for some reason because I run out of coffee, then I want to get filled down here. Same diff over here. This scalp band, these are like scalp banks. In other words, I don't get filled. I get stopped out of here if I'm wrong on this bounce. And then if we get another thrust down, the next harmonic entry, once it clears out these guys, I don't want to be along for the ride. I don't want to be in for the crush because you can lose money on riding that all the way down, martingale style. So I'm going to get in a super deep pending. Maybe never get filled on that, but it's a hotkey drop, so it's no sweat. I've already written the whole trade plan for this scenarios, but here we are with the borderline in New Zealand right now. This guy breaks out, takes the top. British pound's got to play catch up, and let's pause it. Okay, we're in the scalpers window. It's 5 minutes before news out of Europe, and I'm still holding this position lightly and prepared for crazy pullbacks. We already poked through. This is a 4-digit broker, so these are really hard breaks on this broker if they break. We just nicked the candle wicks here on the New Zealand, and I think I took something off the table just because I had like early exits on these things built in. So now I'm looking for the spike at the top of the hour. It could go either way at this point. It looks like the Australians hell-bent on taking out the top and staying with New Zealand, and this would plunge here. So at this point, I'm going to think about buying a bounce here really deep. I'm going to put a 1-hour bank. My deepest 1-hour bank I have available is going to come in here. So I'm looking to play a bounce off the... if the euro slams to 39, I figure the Swiss is going to slam not as volatile a pair. And then I'll place, this is still loading because it's a really slow broker. So you see these like guys coming in here. Here's my last entry is at this node. Down here, the apex of this triangle is my last buy limit, and then master stop out in Disneyland. Now I'm going to come in with a 4-hour, the deepest one I have, in case we get this mind-blowing spike in here, which is possible. Not like we haven't seen this happen a million times. So I actually get stopped out of this and pick up these guys, so I don't blow up the account. You have to leave a window. If you're going to grid trade, you got to leave a window because you don't know. You're going to get a move like this. Yeah, this is a retracement play that makes money. It's 100% retracement. It's a 4-hour chart. Bam, bam, bam. Forgot the wicks. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, bam. You know, it's like table tennis, people. Okay, there's the trend line. It's a hardcore trend line. This is the argument for we're going to go up. You know, breaks out, come back, test, but see the apex of the test might be down here. Okay, the moment of truth is 3 minutes away, and is this going to be one of those? Oh, it's going to be a quick and dirty blast. I can take something off the table, and this one I get in psycho deep on this one, the deepest one I got on the 4-hour. Like I said, this broker's so slow that you got to take that into account. So now I'm going to go to my 5-digit broker. He's going to have a real, it's going to look a little spicier here. It's more of a jerky looking tick charts. There's a British pound. Everything's going to be, the spreads are probably going to go really crazy wide here. But I hope something cashes out. I got some conservative exits before even the pounce on this wick here. So this should be, this is a 5 pip grid here, these white. All the dotted lines are 5 pips apart, and I just have the 50s are blue dotted, and the 100s are fat dotted, and then there's nothing actually. But that's 4 hours, so. That's right there. I was just looking at possibly a 500 pip top to bottom, but I don't think the volatility is like that on this pair. So I'm just cleaning up these charts and just sit back, and looks like they're going to spike this pound. So maybe I'm going to get filled. Now at this point, I'm thinking about placing a buy bank down deep here. This is the deepest one I got on the 1-hour. So we got possibly wrap around the 64 handle if this really isn't going up, and the only winners I have is, since I'm long this one, I'm long New Zealand, I'm long Australian, I'm long Euro. This may come back, and as soon as the news hits, so we got 1 minute before news now, and here's when you could see a real This is where they blow up people's blow up people's forex accounts. Yes, people aren't expecting a flash retest. You know, they don't see that coming. They blindsided here on the pound, but I got lighter on the pound than I got. Actually, got I think more of the New Zealand, Australia, and I kind of went light on the pound because I got 30 seconds away. Same thing on this guy. This is kind of light, so I'm gonna put up. This is a 1 hour spike strip here. Starts at the pivot from the last known. Okay, here's a moment of truth. You got 15 seconds before the top of the hour. European news comes out, and then at the bottom of the hour, half hour, you've got the big British news coming out. So right now, everybody's looking for a spike up to this. Okay, suppose the news is out. Spreads get wide, you'll know that there really is news, but they're claiming high impact at Forex Factory, but the other news reports, they don't say so much. So, okay, just updated. I guess my charts are behind. I guess my clock's not set atomically. Here we go. Okay, now they're coming with the news. This should be pretty crazy. This is kind of white knuckle if you're in too big, but for me it's just too much fun. I'm not in that big on this British pound buy, but I could see they're going to do the... I don't know if they did it here on the euro. I have to go see this 5-minute spike here. This is what people are complaining about. Like I say, you got to have a wide stop. That's a 5 pip. It's a 1-minute chart. News just came out. Now, I don't have to go to the 1 minute on this pound to know that it can get very spiky. Now, let's go to the 4-hour euro and see that there's no reason we can't pull back to the 38. Bankers get in here. They rip it north. The 100 pip clean bounce. But right now, it's European news. So this has been consolidating for 1 minute here. It's very volatile. It's like if you're in... I don't really like to get in on this phase of it. I just trade light during this session, and then most of the money is going to be made when it surprises everybody with one of these mind-blowing spikes. It looks like the euro's setting up for a blast here. So now here the 5-minute traders are going to come in again. Same story. This window at the top is the big deal, and yeah, it's kind of boring. So we'll go to the other broker, 4-digit guy. Okay, this one looks like euro's going to lead. This guy's going to come down. So now I've come in with the deepest order bank I got on this broker. Is these are 1 hour tickets coming in here real slow on this one. Super deep with a stop here. So basically it has to come flying back, crush all these guys and rip north, and then I'll be cashing on that. Well, it's kind of getting in an unfair price that can only last a certain amount of time. So this if it can't get there in an hour, then all bets are off for that strategy. So it just gets out of its own way there. But this looks like these guys look way more bullish for they'll lead the pack, and then the euro's going to follow, and hopefully this guy is going to do what the New Zealand's been doing, which is consolidating here for the last 50 hours. So hopefully we're getting this on this, and this will be the laggard in the station. We can kind of just ride that one. But okay, here comes the 5-minute traders. They're gonna or the robots, whatever the hell's going on there. So at this point here, hopefully we can get the 5-minute cash outs, and then it'll just be a matter of reloading the gun, and maybe trade this bounce in the Canadian dollar off this 101. So I'm going to put some in there just for kicks, just in case it does spike down there. Okay, about yeah, I got about 80 seconds left before the 5-minute robots come in here. So just wait till one more minute. I'll pause and just come back at the bottom of the hour when the British pound news comes out. So the British pound's kind of undecided. It's still living inside this triangle. It's just been torturing everybody who's in, waiting for a move either way. But this news just came out for this currency pair, which I guess would include this, which is euro to the yen. It involves this consolidation zone, and then so in 25 minutes I'll come back and take a look at how the pound's responding to the news, and hopefully I got the best price because I bought at the apex of the breakout as opposed to waiting to take out this wick with a stop. Or like I said, for the guys with the tight robots, you're going to come in here with this lagging buy stop that's trailing along the top. I'm sure the Bollinger Bands on the 1 hour are tight here, so you play that breakout. But here we're getting this. This is going to lead the pack right now. So here, top of the hours, here comes the 5 minute guys. They're gonna jump on board this thing. I think my clock's fast, so actually we have to wait to hear on the second hand. But here's the moment of truth. Now, this would be wave 3 in Elliott here, coming out of this, digging out of this hole on some other small time frame. But I just want to take advantage of the instantaneous moves, and then come back and play with the drift, drift the thing up at a smaller position because it's less nerve-wracking to be in a small trend trade. Is equal to a big scalp. I mean, as far as risk to reward ratios and just overall psychology of feeling like if you're in too heavy on these scalps, it goes against you. You'd be surprised if you have no math skills like I don't. I mean, I can wipe out an account in probably a blink of an eye, right out of the news of the gate. So I'll come back in 25 minutes too. The rubber meets the road. 10 seconds to news. On your mark. Time to stop out the weak hands and just pounce them into the ground right here. Okay, kabang. See, it seems like my clock's 10 seconds fast. Okay. Wow. Yep. Just got a 5 pip spread on the pound. Here we go. 7 pip, 9 pip. This is going to be crazy, man. I'm long. It's a little nerve-wracking, I must say. I don't enjoy it, but I have conservative targets. The top of the wick of the 4 hour. It doesn't even have to take out that wick. I'll be out before. Looks like they're just going to smash the euro back to make up for the pound here. Whew. What fun. Here we go, man. 1 minute. We've just moved 20 pips. I got 5 pip handles on this video. You're gonna crack up when you see my video on it. It's got 5 pip handles on here. So just clear the trees here, and I'll reduce my exposure. Hopefully the dollar CAD's gonna plummet. Although the Swiss is kind of interesting going here. British pound's got another wave left in it. It's only been 1 minute. It seems like forever when these markets heat up, man. A minute seems like a half an hour right now. Okay, here comes the pound. Euro should follow. And New Zealand breaks out the intraday. The New Zealand's about to take out the high from Friday. We're about we're 2 pips from that. Here comes the pound. And scalp out of this thing and just wait till the dust settles and get the next swing. They're going to roll this over in 1 more hour at 6:30. They're going to roll this whole market over. So you can always buy the retest. So I don't think it's going moon out of here. I think this is just like, New Zealand's got to break. It's got to go up 5 pips here and convincingly crush through. And then I can relax. I don't like to be in these trades actually. Too big because it could go either way. See, right now they're going to start selling it. We just took out the high from this congestion zone. There's a 20-hour resistance we just blew out on the stop enter. Guys just got in that cluster on the pound. Here's the pullback confirmation. We have to wait for the 5-minute traders to come in, the 5-minute robots. So scalpers have to ride this 10-minute window at the top of the bottom of the hours. You have to endure this 10-minute window to really make enough money to pay for the the news drama here. If you're holding something light, but yeah, I'm just gonna come. It's too boring. Still boring. Yeah, you got 2 minutes left. 2 minutes left to then the 10-minute window. 10 minutes before and 10 minutes after the bottom of the hour. So I'm going to take profits in 2 minutes, whatever is up, because you just have to. I mean, this stuff could just turn out a dime right now. Yeah, I'm actually recording right now. So I'm going to stop the tape, and I'm going to stop this tape in 1 minute and 30 seconds. Yeah, I'm just showing the scalp windows, top, bottom of the hour. So I put a 5 pip grid in. It's like a scalper's grid, and it looks high drama because, you're talking 5 pips. But my indicator only paints around current price. I told if you go inside settings here, you can set it to say 2 above, 2 below. You take the big number. The ones I sent you are edited down. I think if you drop a grid on there, it will not paint the whole screen. It only paints. You only care about 5 pips if you're at the current price. 100 pips deep doesn't matter right now, unless this thing was right now really took the news on the chin, and it really was going down. Then you'd look out and you'd see I got 500 pips available on here. So if I zoom out like this, I'm gonna have 500 pips, but I can see the band of the scalpers world, which is they live in a 5 pip world, So that's right around current. But look at that New Zealand; it's just inching up. We've got like about you're like 2 pips from taking out the intraday high on Friday. See, now the pound's pulling back because they just grabbed those guys that got into the stops, and they're going to rip their heads off the other way now. So that's why I'm in more than one currency. Because I might get out of this New Zealand first, and then here comes the pound, and it'll be the laggard to the pack. It's like a pack mentality here. And wow, that Canadian looks like it's about to just dive. Buyers are coming in on the yen pairs now. That looks like a top bottom. Okay, so I'm just gonna. Yeah, what I'm trying to do here is a time lapse.